Hi friends, Jen here with Serenity Hill Farmstead. It is early morning and I am getting ready to do something I really should have done last night, which is starting to prep my Hibiscus Roselle seeds to be started. The only seeds that I'm really starting right now are the ones that require a longer time to germinate, or they are seeds that need a longer growing season than what we have, reliably anyway. So I am going to start these right now. So in vegetable gardening, it's pretty easy to start seeds. You get your soil ready, you put your seeds in, you give them the heat or the light that they need to be able to germinate, you're off. You're good to go. And then when they're growing is when you have to be a little bit more finicky with your care. You have to really watch your moisture, you have to watch more pest pressure, you have to watch weed pressure. There's a lot more things that you have to worry about with vegetables once they're growing. With herbs, it seems to be the opposite with a lot of them. Seed starting is the time where things are a little more finicky, especially with some seeds that require a couple special processes like Roselle. But then when these herbs get going, they're totally fine. They take off, they're doing really good. There's very little pest pressure. Once they get big enough to fend for their own, they choke out the weeds, so we don't really have to worry about it. But let's take this one that we're doing. This is why I'm just doing a video specifically on starting Roselles, because if you see this little seed, you see that little tip? So this is the Hibiscus Roselle seed here. But this little tip, whoop, and I almost lost my seed. That little tip needs to be what we call scarified. So scarification is basically the process of nicking that part off, so the endosperm is what it's called, can come out, so your root can come out without basically cutting off or scruffing up the really hard exterior shell. A root cannot develop here. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can take a little fine grit sandpaper and just kind of rub gently the end just so that it's exposed, or you can take a little knife. I gotta take my glasses off for this. And you can just kind of nick the edge. And what you're doing here is you're just kind of exposing the tip. I don't know if I can do this standing up. I usually do it sitting. There we go. There we go. We got it. Okay. So you see that tip right there? That's what you want to expose. And now a root can form. So we are going to put that in our bowl. And I have a bunch more that I need to do here. So I'm gonna flip you around so you can watch that process. Okay, so we have everything scarified here. So you see that white part there, that's the endosperm, that is exposed. So now the next step before we start these is we have to soak them for a while. And I've got just a cup of warm water. They're gonna sink back down there. And I'm gonna soak these for the day. And then I'm gonna come back in the afternoon here and we're gonna get these started into soil. And then we'll talk about all of the awesome benefits to this wonderful plant. But first, I wanted to show you, this is a really good seed packet. This is one of the reasons why I love Strictly Medicinal seeds, because they provide a whole lot of education, and the detailed instructions on how to get started with this seed are right here on the front of the seed pack. And if there's any more information that you want, you can go onto their website and get that. And they also have some wonderful books that give you tons and tons of information on planting medicinal herbs. So this says right on there that it wants you to do an overnight soak. So I'm actually gonna give it about 6 hours, because in 8 hours it's gonna be 5 and it's gonna be getting darker, and that's kind of busy time around this house. So I'm gonna come back at about 3:30-ish, and I am going to drain these and I'm gonna get them started in my soil. It doesn't really take any super specific kind of soil. I have ProMix Organic. When you're starting medicinal seeds, you always wanna use an organic soil starter. You don't just want to use whatever, because the stuff that's in there will get into the DNA of your seed, of your plant, and we don't want that. We want a good, clean, organic soil. These are medicinal seeds. To keep the medicinal properties, you need to keep it organic. So even if you don't use organic on your vegetables, when you're growing your medicinal seeds, make sure you're using organic. So there we go. We're going to let this sit for a while, and we'll see you this afternoon. So it has been over a week now. We got the flu. It wasn't fun, was it? No, Evie's gonna help me plant the seeds. So I had those seeds soaking in this little bowl here with warm water, and they ended up soaking the entire time we got sick. So normally what you'd be concerned about soaking these seeds is that they're gonna rot. But these seeds have zero rot. They don't feel squishy at all. So I'm just gonna give it a shot. They may do absolutely nothing. They probably won't, honestly, but I'm gonna try it. And then what I'm gonna do is take the rest of the seeds that I have here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and scarify them like we did at the beginning. And I'm gonna nick them with a knife there. And then I'm gonna expose that endosperm and I'm gonna get them planted. Now, this is a little bit of an experiment, because I've always scarified and then soaked and then planted and had great success, 100% germination rates. So this is gonna be a little bit of an experiment to see what's gonna work and what's not. So I've got one of these little planters. I really like these things if I'm just doing kind of like a small crop of something. Still dirty from last year, that's okay. I will go ahead and use these. I really like these because you can like pop them out. So if you're doing a small amount, I really like to have these on hand.
I like them too.
You like them too? So we've got our, do you want to do the mixing or you want to do the planting?
I'll do both.
Do both? Okay. I've got my ProMix Organic seed starting mix, and I like to put Trifecta in here also. Let's see, here it is. Trifecta is something that I get from M.I. Gardner. I love this stuff, Trifecta Plus. I've used it for years and years. Go ahead, dump it in. And it has never done me wrong. So we're just gonna keep on using it.
Don't dump the water in one place.
That, I think, is perfect. No, don't dump the water in one place, right. I like to spread it around. You're gonna keep mixing with me here?
Yeah.
All right, mix it up. It is cold. So we are gonna get this all mixed up. Now, I like to go ahead and moisten my soil before I fill it up, just so that way I know all of my soil has moisture in it. We don't have dry pockets, and it's better. It's just better. There's your high-tech reason for doing it. There's all your scientific evidence. It's just better.
It's like playing with dough.
Playing with dough? It's a weird dough. Okay, you ready to fill?
Yeah.
All right, let's fill.
Go here.
Mm-hmm. Make a
I
mess.
have to get multiple handfuls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at making messes.
we're just gonna go ahead and do all of them that we did. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I just poke a hole through with my finger about 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put 1 seed per hole. I mean, real simple.
Just sitting here.
And then I'm gonna cover it up with dirt. Do you wanna plant some seeds here, sister? Yeah. Okay. Come over. You should probably come over here.
Let's scoop this.
Yep. I don't know what that one. Right there. Just drop it in the hole. Here. This one will go over here. And you can do these last 3. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. And then we cover them up. Just a little bit of soil on top. And everything's already nice and moistened. So we don't have to worry about watering anything. And then what's the next step? What do we do next? Do you remember?
Put them in the sun.
Not in the sun. What do we use instead of sun? What do we put them sitting on top of?
The little rack.
Yep, the rack with the heat mats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
window.
In front of the window, but that window is not really going to do much for us. So when it comes to herbs, there are heat germinating herbs and there are light germinating herbs. Hibiscus is a heat germinator, meaning it likes to have like the heat mat underneath to help it germinate. Whereas a light germinating herb is not going to benefit from a heat mat underneath. It needs light up close. And then when that seed will germinate, it'll grow up towards the light, and you can just keep heat light on it or grow light on it the entire time. You don't need to put any kind of heat from underneath to get it going. So with this hibiscus, I'm gonna fill out, these are actually empty, so I'm gonna go grab another packet, and I'm going to fill up the rest of this. So this entire thing is just going to be hibiscus. And then we are going to put it on the heat mat, on the heat mat. Yeah?
Yes.
And we will officially have our first herbs started for the spring.
Yay!
Okay, I changed my mind. I'm gonna make this half Roselle because honestly, I don't need that many. I do not need that many hibiscus. It's just going down 1 row. Can you hear all of us hacking and coughing still? So we're just gonna shove, everybody's still coughing. We're just gonna shove 3 more in there. Now the cat's meowing. We have a chick that just hatched in our incubator, and he's a little too curious, so he had to go away, and now he's protesting loudly.
This is what I come down to every morning to him mowing.
Him mowing. Singing us the song of his people.
Your meow.
Just like that? Meow. All right, so now we have to decide what else is also going to be a heat germinator that we want to go ahead and get started now. Should we put some marshmallow in there?
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, when you're putting things all in one tray, so we have hibiscus in here, and we're going to put something else in this side, you really want to make sure that their germination times match up. Because there's nothing worse than having half of your tray germinate and being ready to get off the heat mat and onto the grow lights, but the other half still needs more time for heat, you know, needs more time on the heat mat. Okay, so I think I've decided that marshmallow is going to be the way to go here. So I'm gonna plant a whole bunch of marshmallow this year. It's a fabulous plant. It is so beneficial for the gut, for the lungs, does lots of awesome things, and I want to have a lot of it. So we are going to do 6, 12, 18 seeds.
That's a lot of seeds.
It is a lot of seeds. We're going to have 18 marshmallow plants going here. Now, when it comes to vegetables, I will plant more than 1 seed in a cell. let them do their thing. I think I accidentally did 2 in the other one, but
extra big.
I like to put 1 seed per cell when it comes to herbs. I don't want to waste a plant is what it is. I don't want to have to pinch them off and make hard decisions. And because these seeds are more expensive. So just 1. You know what? That is a tiny seed, so let's make an exception for that one. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're covering back up. I'm gonna write the dates on these too. Today is the 6th. So I'm writing the date on these 2 just because they're, you know, herbs have so many different germination times and dates and everything. All right, we're gonna do this one like way back here, and then the marshmallow can be way back here, okay? That cat is driving me nuts here. All right, so this does not have a top. So if you've got a cover that doesn't have a top, you can just use yourself some good old-fashioned saran wrap. And because we have cats, we go around a couple times here. And we make sure we've got a good, I know we did this last year. This is what we do. I go around a couple times and make sure we've got a good seal there.
Anything will probably chew on this?
No, we've got a cat-proof. We've got a cat-proofing set up this year, ready to go. Learning from last year. Okay, so remember where I told you it's going? We're gonna make holes just right where those are gonna go.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the Roselle, the purple one, is gonna go here. Yeah, so like I was saying, I like to put the dates on it so that I can see real quick, just like at a glimpse without looking up in binders or anything. It's okay, shove it in there. When I started these. So that's it. Nice and simple. This is going to go on our heat mat, and within 1 to 3 weeks, these will germinate. So when they start germinating, the tricky part about this kind of setup is some things will germinate and be ready for the light. And once they germinate, they take off fast. It's not unlike vegetables, okay? When you have your tomato seedlings, they just germinate, then they start taking off really fast. These plants also do the same thing. So what I will do then is come in with a pair of like manicure scissors, and I will cut the plastic away from the plants that have already germinated and are ready for light, and I'll put my grow light over top for those that need it. So until everything germinates, that's just the way it's gonna be. So I'll keep you guys posted to let you know the status of these seeds that sat in water for a week. Honestly, I do not have high hopes. I don't expect to see great things from them, but we'll see what happens because we have got lots of time for hibiscus, and we can get them growing. They grow pretty fast in the right conditions. We need to deal with the cat. Why don't you go ahead and let him out? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this on heat. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Roselle is a really, really nice herb to have, to grow it. It's beautiful. It's really nice on the shelf, on the apothecary shelf. It is a really tasty herb. It's really good for helping hormones. It's really high in vitamin C. It's got a lot of really good benefits to it. So I hope this is one that you consider putting on your apothecary shelf. Remember, if you are in a tropical zone, this can grow perennial for you. If you are in a colder zone like us here up in Northwest Illinois, this is just going to be an annual seed. So you do need to start this early so that you have lots of time to let it grow and get big so that you can get a good harvest off of it. So there it is. You ready? Yeah. Want to go put it on the heat mat?
It looks like brownies.
It looks like brownies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button too, because we're going to be growing all the medicinal herbs here and I'm going to share it all along the way. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.